Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you saw the last video, we said that we were about to get our rough-in inspection. Yesterday, the inspector came out and we passed our inspection. So now we're ready to go get things started for our final inspection. So I went ahead and ordered breakers on Amazon yesterday, and by code we're required to have the arc fault and ground fault, the really expensive ones. So spent $700 on those. So this has been pretty expensive. Also, spent over $1,000 on the wires and everything. So thank you to everyone who backs us on Patreon. Really helps with times like those. So now we put the breakers in, we're ready to put outlets and switches and lights in, and just those things that we need to do to pass our final. So we've been collecting a bunch of outlets and switches and these keyless lights, and basically we can just put something there in order to pass, and then after that we'll be able to put up some cool lights or whatever. But before we get to this electrical, we have a couple changes we want to make upstairs, and now is probably the best time to do it. So let's just go upstairs and show you what we're going to do. All right, so before we get into it, just had to take a moment to show off our new blinds we got. I didn't realize how expensive blinds were until we started shopping around for them, and we got these temporary paper fold-up ones from Amazon. Probably spent around $100 for all these. And you clip them and they just fold up like this. Turns out these are a huge pain to deal with if you have to do 14 of them every single day. We were at Bargain Bins the other day before they closed down, and they were a store that sold returns from stores like Amazon and Home Depot, places like that. And they were having $8 day, so we were able to get 14 windows, all of our windows here for $8 each, so $112. And these are some nice ones too. These are the good ones that you get at Home Depot. They're pretty awesome, so check this out. Got the, open them up, and they're the nice ones where you just lift it up like that, and they just stay open. So that's just so easy to do. So it's been really nice having that. But what we're gonna check out here today, or what we're gonna work on here today. So you guys might remember a while back we put in this knee wall. This isn't really for structure. This was just so that we'd have something to nail some finishing boards to, and then something to put our outlets on around the room. When we first did this, we were thinking that this would be a good place for storage, and we ended up running our wires in here up high so that we could put some drawers in eventually. One of the things we started thinking about is with each one of these studs that we put in, we decided to nail them straight into the side of the rafter like this, but we realized if we just cut them and lined them up with the rafter, we'd end up opening up a lot more space right here, and that'd also be great if it was flush like that, so that when we put our drawer slides on, they'll just go straight on, and it'll technically also give us a little bit more space in there too. And then another reason that'd be great is because we're about to be putting in our rock wool insulation, and now that we have that inspection, we're ready to start putting that in too. So when we put that in, it'll be great to not have to cut around that stud. So we think we're just gonna go ahead, knock all these out, go ahead and make that cut and line it up flush. It's gonna take us a little bit of time, but we think it'll be worth it. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Took out the first two, cut the nails out from the old one. Now we got screw going in. It's a nice fit. got the DeWalt saw going into the Ryobi vacuum.
All right, so first side is wrapped up. We did 8 of them. So 8 times 1.5 is 12. So we regained a foot of space by doing this, which is kind of a lot if you think about it. So now I think it looks really good, first of all. And then now when we put on our slides, it'll be nice and flush like that. So that was pretty easy. Glad we did it. And you know, the electrical part didn't end up being too bad to move either. So now we just gotta do the other side. All right, so we just wrapped up the new and improved knee wall, and I am really glad that we did this. I think it looks great, way better than before. It's just clean and opens up that space, so really glad we did that. And so now we're gonna continue on. We've been planning on doing a little half wall around this room for a while, but the reason we waited on it is because when we first cut out the floor up here, we ended up cutting a little bit too much. We cut one joist out, so we add that back, and now we're gonna put some plywood back. And we ended up using that little cavity there for a chase for our wires, so that ended up working out great. So now we're just gonna cut a piece of plywood, put it here, and then build a small half wall. So let's go check out what wood we got, bring it up, and get started. Come on in. Got some hidden storage in here. This is where I had my cedar. This is my secret cedar stash. The X-Tool cedar. So that's some walnut. Yep. Got walnut. And some nice pine. All right, we got the lumber. Now we're gonna mark it up, get it cut, secure it down, get it done. So we are gonna be putting the plywood right here, but this edge right here isn't straight. It was the piece that we had cut out. So we're gonna try to straighten this up just a little bit on the edge so that the new piece lines up a little better. The room you can kind of feel the floor creaking and kind of bouncing around up here. So we came in and put screws in every single joist and every sheet of plywood. So it's strong now.
Want me to recut something?
Seems a lot straighter.
That's it.
Pan Am. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Still think this is one of my favorite tools. Other than the X-Tool, of course. It's a lot better. All right, so we just finished up with our half wall, and the room is just looking completely transformed now. We can really feel what it's gonna be like, so that feels good. And this is nice and strong, so we're not gonna accidentally fall off into the stairs anymore. And we're actually gonna be continuing this wall. This right here is our hidden trap door. So this will be, I will show this a couple times, but it comes down, will be flush with the floor, and then you can walk on it to go out to the back porch. And this whole thing will be hidden inside a bigger wall that we'll probably make with a 2x8, and then we want to do some cool electronics that'll automatically lift it up. So that's all some fun stuff that we'll have for a future video, just like that. And of course the knee walls, they just look great now. It's going to be great having that extra storage, and I think it just looks a lot better, even though you won't really see it. That's going to be a wrap for this video. Thanks to everyone who's liked and subscribed, and also a huge shout out to everyone that's backed us over on Patreon. I've also kind of been trying out something new this week. I did a couple videos on Patreon, just like little vlogs throughout the day, so I'm probably going to keep on doing that. So if you guys want to see those, go check out our Patreon, and we'll see you guys next time.